Alright, so this is the radio I've been using lately. It's easy to control with the cat control. It's easy to control with the signal link. You can get it to work with or without cat control. It'll still key up. It's pretty easy to adjust. The only problem with these radios is the ic746pro can burn up on them. And this one's a late serial number. I don't know if the modification's been done to protect it or reduce the fact, like, but I generally don't use this radio for that reason. It does 100 watts on 2 meters. You'll see these for sale every once in a while, usually about $700. There's a 746 and a 746 Pro. To be honest with you, I don't know what the difference is. I've never owned the non-pro version. They look identically the same. With the 756 and the 756 Pro, I believe the difference was there was actually physical filters in the 746 that needed to be updated. So when they came out with the 756, they did away with all the filters by using DSP. This is a newer radio than the Pro 2, I think, even, or came out alongside the Pro 2, but the 746 Pro is newer than the 756 Pro by at least a few years. And I can tell that by looking at the old magazines that I have. I'm not exactly sure what year it came out. But it's definitely an interesting radio. It just doesn't really have great sounding audio on single sideband. The 2 meter section of it is very aggressive about folding back power. You will not get full 100 watts on most antennas without some serious adjustment, which is great because it is protecting it. But into a dummy load, yeah, you'll see it puts out 100 watts. So I've got a diamond 5/8 wave stacked collinear antenna. I think it's called the CP22E or something like that. It's just an all aluminum antenna, and it's not technically really adjustable because it's stacked collinear. But I did cut some of the end off to finally get this damn thing to work a little bit better in the regular part of the band. But I've tried a couple different antennas and things like that on 2 meters, and they seem to be very narrow banded for this particular radio. It's real picky. So, but anyway, I've been using it to do ft8, which is just simple, easy to control. The tuner in it works really good. The noise reduction actually works fairly well. Let's take a look up on 10 meters. What I like about the icoms is the really fast tuning rate. What I really don't like about dealing with in general is that every time some people want to pick some strange in-between frequency. I mean, the real deal is that probably 80% of the people on ham radio are CBers. So can we stick with the channelized concept of not going in between weird frequency splits and crap like that? So for CW, I get it. Okay, it's very, very narrow, and you could be somewhere weird, but do you need to be? This is 28 megahertz, 305 kilohertz. Do you need to really split the hertz? Let's stick to 1 kilohertz steps. It's already affording you way more choices than CB radio. Oh no, you need to go further in there, huh? Okay. So then, when I try and tune to somebody, you know, I've got to change my tuning step if I want to try and find out where they're at. You know, depending on how fine you have it. That's another thing what's nice about this one. If you hold it down, you can make that one disappear. So it tunes a little bit faster. But I don't want to do this. For some reason it's on lower sideband. I don't know why. See, I got to figure out where he's at. Yeah, the other thing that I don't like about contesting is it encourages harmful interference. It's disrespectful, and everybody that participates in it is breaking the rules. They jump in and pile up on top of each other. It doesn't say anywhere in your exam for the technician's license that it's okay to jump in and create a pile up and transmit on top of 20 other people to try and call a DX station. In fact, it says exactly the opposite of that, but maybe you guys don't remember that. So, but the contesters, they get really close to each other, and the people that chase them don't care. No, I've seen people do something weird where they'd be like right here at like 0.25. And it's like, okay, realistically, for you to get away from somebody else's signal without hearing it, you're going to need to be more than 3 kilohertz. More than 3 kilohertz. Okay? Where's this guy's signal? Okay. So he's not super strong, so it's not a good example to you. But if we go up 3 to 7, you see we can still hear him? You need to be more than 3 anyway. So why in the hell would you ever be 0.25? So you just pick a normal frequency that everybody can find that's easy. Like, you're already causing interference if you're closer than 3 kilohertz anyway. You know, if we switch this back to CB radio and made everybody follow that, there would be a lot less interference. 3 kilohertz is not enough. You can't get the people to follow it anyways. But realistically, 5's probably not enough if they have a really strong signal. But there's really not that many people on ham radio. And what happens is, it might seem like there is because they all come out at once. But, you know, there's really not that many people on ham radio. It's very limited. There's guys that don't get on the radio but once a year for a contest or something, you know, and that's it. But the people that are on the radio on a regular basis, there's not that many of them. That's why after a few years of operating, you're going to know who most of these people are if you operate. Anyway, I don't participate in the contest stuff. I don't get into it. It doesn't even interest me at all. I'd rather listen to something funny. And then there's 29 megahertz AM, which is kind of fun. But you need a radio that's going to sound good on AM, or these guys will give you grief. Kind of funny how this hobby works. Like, everybody's always fucking really rude and mean, and, you know. Then you get disrespectful people. I don't think there's going to be any other. No FM. Anyway, this is a really cool radio to use for what I do, but I'm concerned about it, how long it'll last, so there we go. I just clicked on ft8. Running 100 watts. I've found it's a waste of time to do anything else. Wow, look at that 10-meter propagation. Holy moly. So with my loop antenna, obviously, I'm getting over to this side more, which is sort of strange. It's definitely seems to be concentrated on the east, southeast even, but nothing on the west really. So anyway, what I found is that sometimes it can look like this and be really hard to make contacts. I don't know if it's because the band's unstable, or maybe we have like some solar activity. But a lot of times when I make a contact on ft8, I'll go in here and I'll look them up. Like this guy here, Dave. In Sultan, Washington, I know exactly where that's at. We used to go 4x4 in out near Gold Bar, which isn't too far from there. I just always look at everybody's pages and stuff, you know, and just, you know, see what kind of stuff they got, what they've posted. Really cool 7,000 in a Toyota truck. So I actually have more fun doing this than I really do, like, you know, listening to half the crap that goes on HF anymore. But anyway, what we're doing is we're doing the 12 days of QRZ, so just try and find people that have a decent signal to call on here that might confirm. Well, if you do ft8 a lot, you know who people are on here too. There's only so many of them.